It's Tuesday, the 15th of June 2021. Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Headlines, the business news you need in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. In today's headlines, the Group of Seven meeting supports Australia's fight against China, and a free trade deal with Britain is expected to be signed later today. Plus, Fortescue Metals wins the right to run a $100 billion project in the Republic of Congo. Macquarie Group buys into one of Italy's biggest toll roads, and the incredible auction where £5 was worth $1.4 million. Our lead story today, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison is hoping to sign a free trade deal with Britain later today, ending a successful trip for the PM, particularly given the final communique of the Group of Seven meeting pledged to tackle China's market-distorting practices. The G7's final communique supported Mr Morrison's argument for standing up for liberal democratic principles in the Indo-Pacific region. It included a multi-billion-dollar project to fund green infrastructure projects in poorer nations, taking on China's similar Belt and Road Initiative. It committed to net zero emissions no later than 2050, though it didn't make any financial commitments to help developing nations lower greenhouse gas emissions or deal with climate disasters. And the communique included a pledge for 613 million doses of COVID vaccine. The meeting marked a new era of collaboration between the big powers, the US, Canada, Japan, the UK, Germany, France and Italy. President Joe Biden said America was back at the table, and he promised to re-establish American credibility among friends. Mr Morrison is hoping to sign a free trade deal with the UK over the next 24 hours. The sticking point remains agriculture, with Australia unhappy about the proposal to phase UK tariffs and quotas on beef, lamb and sugar over 15 years, as well as rules around labour mobility. As Trade Minister Dan Tehan said, it's important the right deal is struck. In overseas news, the reign of Israel's longest-serving Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has ended after the country's parliament voted in a new government. The right-wing poster boy won 4 elections in his 12 years running the country, and he'll be replaced by Naftali Bennett, an ultra-nationalist whose Yamina party controls just 6 seats in the 120-member parliament. Transporting a 40-foot steel container of cargo by sea from Shanghai to Rotterdam now costs $10,500, more than 5 times normal prices. It means everything that travels by sea, and 80% of the world's goods fit into that category, from food to toys to furniture, could end up more expensive. Transport prices are rising on the back of much higher demand, a shortage of containers, overly busy ports, and too few ships and dock workers. And the global supervisor of banks has given the thumbs down to Bitcoin, but that hasn't stopped the digital token surging in recent days. The jump followed Tesla's Elon Musk saying the electric vehicle maker would resume transactions with the digital token once its impact on the environment was lessened. Bitcoin is currently trading above $40,000 a unit. Locally, Fortescue Metals chairman Andrew Forrest has secured the inside running on developing the world's largest hydropower project, which has a $100 billion price tag. The project, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, is part of Mr Forrest's ambition to diversify the iron ore miner into a global force in green energy and hydrogen, according to a report in the Financial Review. Fortescue Future Industries has exclusive rights to develop the Grand Inga project, and the Congolese government has said all parties wanting to support the massive development should now deal with Fortescue. Say what you like about Andrew Forrest, but he is certainly a big-picture man. Macquarie Group has taken a stake in Italy's biggest toll road network in a $14.6 billion deal. A consortium that included Macquarie was set to pick up the asset until Real Madrid soccer club owner Florentino Perez made a last-minute pitch. But the Macquarie Consortium, which includes an Italian state investment group and US company Blackstone, over the weekend was successful in buying 88% of Autostrade per l'Italia from the Benetton family. The asset includes 3,000 kilometres of toll road across Italy. The seasonal flu has disappeared, at least so far, in 2021. Normally the virus has been detected tens of thousands of times by this point in the winter season, but according to a report in the Sydney Morning Herald, experts say it's almost disappeared. In May 2019, there were 30,000 confirmed cases of influenza. This year, there were 71. Experts said the best guess was that it hasn't been imported from overseas this year because of border closures. The inquiry into Crown Resorts has been extended by 11 weeks. triggering speculation that the gaming giant might have to work very hard to keep its licence. Commissioner Ray Finkelstein has requested the extension at the end of last week. And 2 Australian coins sold for about $1.5 million each in Monaco over the weekend, the highest prices ever for an Aussie coin. According to media reports, the coins were a £5 coin minted in 1921 in Melbourne, one of only 7 made, and a George V sovereign minted in Sydney in 1920. That's the Fear and Greed business headlines for today. Make sure you hit follow so you get it every morning. And if you'd like more detail and more stories, search for our longer daily podcast called Fear and Greed. We also release a daily interview. Today we're talking to Daniel Petrie, founder of venture capital group Airtree Ventures, about why the ultra-rich in Australia aren't giving enough to charity. I'll be back later with the afternoon market report. I'm Sean Aylmer. Have a great day.